Stranger Things is officially over, and with it, one of the most brand-heavy TV shows of all time. At Concave Brand Tracking, we comb through every single episode of Netflix's biggest show of all time to understand exactly how much product placement value there was in it and how much it was all worth. In this video, we're going to tell you about the product placement in Stranger Things by the numbers. We'll then look into more detail at which season delivered the most product placement value, the top 10 brands by value. Finally, we'll tell you how much product placement value Stranger Things generated overall and how that compares to other iconic TV shows. Stranger Things ran for 5 seasons, spanning 42 episodes and almost 45 hours of runtime. Across the full series, Concave Brand Tracking identified 666 different brands in the form of 174 different types of products. This added up to over 20 hours of combined brand screen time, and the show averaged 47 brands per episode. The 4th season was the most brand-heavy one of Stranger Things. Even when adjusted for its longer runtime, it dwarfed all other seasons. Season 4 had 350 different brands that got over 8 hours of screen time. And this has generated to date $1.8 billion in product placement value. By comparison, Season 1 only featured 131 different brands that got $325 million in value. This despite the fact that Season 1 has more views than any other. Reebok was the big winner of Season 4 with over $110 million in value, followed closely by Levi's and Hang 10. Although 666 brands appeared in Stranger Things, the value was extremely concentrated, with 82% of it going to the top 100 and almost a third going to just the top 10. Let's look at them in a bit more detail. At number 10, we have the musician Tom Waits. One of his t-shirts was worn by Maya Hawke as Robin throughout Season 5. At number 9, we have realistic radios. These were used by all the main characters throughout all 5 seasons. At number 8, we have Converse, one of the many sneaker brands to appear in Stranger Things. Converse appeared in 35 out of the 42 episodes and were worn by most of the main cast. BMW appeared in 21 episodes across all 5 seasons. It got most of its exposure from the 7 series, driven as a status symbol by Joe Carey as Steve. At number 6, we have Nike, which was another sneaker brand worn by much of the main cast, including 11 in the final episode. Reebok was the number 1 sneaker brand in Stranger Things, with 43 minutes of screen time despite not appearing in Season 1. At number 4, we have Body Glove wetsuits, which were worn by 11 in the last 3 episodes for a total of 27 minutes of screen time. Casio was the number 1 watch brand in Stranger Things. Casio watches were worn by an increasing number of characters as the show progressed and was the only brand to appear in all 42 episodes. Over 80 different Ford models appeared in the 36 episodes that the brand was featured. The most frequently seen model was a 1971 Ford Galaxy driven by Noah Schnapp as Will. And at number 1 we have Chevrolet. Over 50 different Chevy vehicles can be spotted across the entire Stranger Things series, but the most prominent was Jim Hopper's Sheriff Blazer. Chevrolet is no stranger to product placement success, having been in the top 6 brands in movies ever since Concave Brand Tracking started publishing its top 100 list in 2016. Also worth mentioning is Dungeons & Dragons, which was the 24th most prominent brand in Stranger Things, but was mentioned 66 times, more than any other brand.
There's this game I like to play. It's called Dungeons & Dragons. Woo!
But how much is all of this worth in its totality? When we factor in the number of brands, the screen time, the quality of their exposure, the viewership, the cost of advertising, the number we get is $4.5 billion in total product placement value generated by Stranger Things. This is driven by 2 things: the sheer volume of product placement, but also the fact that over 230 million people have seen every single episode of Stranger Things to date. This places Stranger Things in a rare group of TV shows that have had huge global success and are packed with product placement, alongside shows like Friends, The Big Bang Theory, or Modern Family. This differs from shows that might have been packed with brands but didn't have the huge viewership success of Stranger Things. This would include Silicon Valley, Billions, Ballers, or even Entourage. Then there are shows with huge global audiences but little brand exposure. These would include Wednesday, The Last of Us, The Crown, or The Walking Dead. And then finally, some shows don't have any brands at all. Think of Game of Thrones or The Mandalorian. And all other shows are somewhere in between. If you'd like to find out more about your brand in Stranger Things or entertainment more broadly, please contact us at info@concavebt.com. We'd love to tell you more about our data, our methodology, and our services.